We're moving to the next key speaker, even key speakers, our colleagues from the staff of the Department of Social Communication, Dina Spичева and Екатерina Полянская. They are going to talk about the image of Siberia in international scientific discourse. I love this topic. Please proceed.
Hello, dear colleagues, dear students. Today we are going to present to you our research about the image of Siberia in the electronic scientific discourse. We've been dealing with this research for more than 2 years, and we already presented the preliminary findings at the University City Forum in 2015 and 2016. We spoke about the images that Siberia is in the Russian scientific discourse, and today we are going to tell you how Siberia is presented internationally. The range of research topics is very diverse, from natural science regarding climate, landscape, biodiversity, ecology, and medicine, to the humanities on history, archaeology, culture, languages, and ethnography. Siberia is a place that can be interesting to international scholars because it contains a lot of unique artifacts for researchers in different fields. The international scientific community today is characterized with a high level of mobility, but sometimes people are hindered with stereotypes that prevent them from coming to Siberia to explore these artifacts. We consider that it's important to change this sometimes very attitude of the scientific community to Siberia and position this region as a place where researchers can participate in conferences, find new research fields, and create international research collaborations. To encourage researchers to come to Siberia and create an effective positioning strategy of this region, we need to understand how Siberia is seen by domestic and international scholars. So, to understand how Siberia is perceived internationally, we analyzed open internet resources on scientific research on Siberia. We studied the abstracts of papers published in 2013 to 2017 that were indexed in the Scopus abstract and citation database. The keyword Siberia was present in articles in 26 subject areas for a total of 10,397 mentions. The following diagram shows the correlation between the percentage of images of Siberia in different subject areas in Scopus. As we can see, the most popular subject areas are Earth and Planetary Sciences, 46.8%, Agricultural and Biological Sciences, 20%, then Environmental Science, Social Sciences, Art and Humanities. And now my colleague Ekaterina will speak about the findings of our research in more detail.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ekaterina, and as Dina said, I'm going to speak about the findings of our research. So, Siberia is a vast region in the Russian Federation. At different times, Siberia had different borders, and even today, scholars are still discussing the issue of the position of Siberia. In the Russian tradition, there are clear boundaries between Siberia, the North, and the Arctic regions. Siberia is perceived as a region in North Asia located entirely within the Russian Federation, occupying the territory from the Urals in the west to the Pacific Ocean in the east and bordering the Arctic coast in the north and Kazakhstan, Mongolia, and China in the south. In Scopus publications, the position of Siberia is not so clear-cut. In the English language articles, the images connected with Siberia include the North region and the Arctic region. In these papers, we can spot a lot of geographical mentions as keywords connected with Siberia. These are the Russian Federation, the Arctic region, North America, Eastern Siberia, Western Siberia, Southern Siberia, Yakutia, and others. As my colleague has mentioned, most international research on Siberia is connected with Earth and planetary sciences. It's about 55%. And agricultural and biological sciences, it makes 28.3%. And all in all, it makes more than 73%. This brings us to the conclusion that Siberia is interesting to natural scientists, first of all, from the point of view of its rich natural resources. This view is supported by the following image of Siberia that we found in Scopus Publications, repository for resources. However, Siberia is much more than repository for resources, as show the results of the focus group conducted at Tomsk State University. There are some images of Siberia which are obvious for the local residents, but are not very popular with international researchers. The aim of the focus group was to reveal the images that local residents have about Siberia. The participants of the focus group share the general opinion that Siberia is rich in natural resources such as oil, gas, wood, and coal, but they also mention some other, sometimes even poetic images. For example, they call Siberia the lungs of the planet, because the vast territory of Siberia is covered with taiga and swamps. It means that the territory of Siberia can be called a natural industry of converting carbon dioxide into oxygen. Everyone knows today that overabundance of carbon dioxide can lead to extremely negative effects. Carbon dioxide is one of the most dangerous air pollutants. Its excess density can lead to a disaster of the global scale connected with rising the temperature as a result of the greenhouse effect. In this respect, the role of Siberia seems to be very important. Siberia, together with the Arctic, influences greatly the climate of the planet. So its natural resources should be protected as they are vital for the humanity. The social and human sciences have an undeservingly low percent of publication in Scopus, only about 20%. However, there are some notable images in these subject areas. For instance, the images of ancient people are a part of international scientific discourse with such key words as history and ancient. The climatic conditions of Siberia contribute to preserving the ancient artifacts, which have been found during the excavations and help scientists uncover the ancient history of the humanity. That is why there are numerous mentions connected with the archaeological research, and the brightest historical images connected with Siberian Scopus are ancient artifacts and mammoth ivory. In addition, there are many publications connected with the indigenous peoples of Siberia, their languages, and their traditional lifestyle. Some international researchers investigate the settlements of the native peoples of Siberia with their traditional lifestyle. In these publications, there are different images connected with shamanism as one of the most ancient religions in the world. They investigate shamans' mental status, shamanistic worldviews, shamanic remedies and curses, and techniques and rituals of the Siberian shamanism. Many local residents associate Siberia with the image of Decembrists who were exiled to Siberia in the 19th century. Decembrists were noble people with good background and university education. They promoted the abolition of serfdom, the rule of law, and other European values. Many of them had a missionary position and made a significant contribution to the development of the region. Today, the local residents of Siberia are very tolerant because of the integration of Eastern and Western values in their worldview, which is connected with European values introduced by the Decembrists and the close location of Siberia to Asian countries. Even today, Siberia is sometimes called Asian Russia or Wild East. The Russian perception of Siberia in terms of the social and human sciences is connected with the image of a certain genotype of a Siberian, which appeared as a result of centuries-long interaction of native peoples of Siberia and the new settlers who came to Siberia because of different reasons. The uniqueness of the position of Siberia is that this region can still remain a place with the European values and culture situated in Asia. To sum up, Siberia still keeps a lot of mysteries and artifacts that can be interesting to international researchers. Natural scientists study Siberia because of its high rate of natural and climatic changes. Siberia may be a litmus test for the future of the planet, first because it evidences great climate change, and second because of the changes connected with migration that began some centuries ago. These changes in Siberia can be compared with the worldwide process of globalization. The negative and positive effects of earlier migration are evident today, and they can help us understand how globalization changes our planet. From the point of view of the social and human sciences, Siberia can be interesting to archaeologists, linguists, and historians because of the variety of its culture, indigenous population, and the ancient artifacts that Siberia has kept for many years. All these can serve as the basis for the new position and strategy for this region. This is probably incorrect to position Siberia as a place of permanent residence for international researchers. Siberia is a region with specific weather conditions, and it cannot compete with the regions with more comfortable environment. However, even if scholars won't stay in Siberia for a long time, they will feel comfortable because of the hospitality and tolerance of the local residents. Okay, thank you very much. And now we are ready to answer your questions, and you can ask them both in English and Russian.
You see, you are having your feedback right now, not as a question, but as a laughs from our from our international guests. I hope, Steve, that means that yes, they are correct. That you are feeling very well here and very welcome here. Yes, I knew you would say that. I knew you would say that. So, thank you very much. You mentioned missionary position there. Ekaterina said that Decemberists carried out and had missionary position, yes. And I feel that too throughout my life. It's like a mission to live here, to be here, even for me. I was born here. Yes, and I think that people who live outside, they base their perception of this place on the stereotypes. Why do you think they are so different for the Scopus, for the residents, and why people outside Siberia, outside Russia, they don't want to see us differently? They don't need to see us differently, or it is created this this image on purpose? What is that?
I guess it's definitely not created on purpose, and well, I think that sometimes they are just afraid of us. I mean, afraid of the weather conditions, well, and they really have a lot of stereotypes, and so studying these publications in Scopus, well, we could see that people don't know much about Siberia, and we think that the right position and strategy that we must have now is just to inform people about what we are and where we are, and that there are no bears in the streets, and that it is possible to survive winters in Siberia if you have warm hats and boots and gloves and things like that.
Thank you, as a Siberian to a Siberian. And thank you very much. Thank you. So we're moving to the next three speaker, and I believe now we are going to have a video report from Marina Shilina. She unfortunately could not be here. Okay, thank you.
If we have more time, I'd like ask a question. As we speak about international researches of Siberia, can we tell scholars of what country make more more researches, and therefore can we tell which countries are more interested in Siberia, in studying of Siberia?
Thank you for the question. Well, you know, first, when we started this research, we wanted to separate people from different countries, but then we just decided to have a generalized image of Siberia presented by international and even Russian researchers who published their research in Scopus. Well, the aim of this research was not to understand who writes about Siberia, but what generalized image of Siberia exists in international scientific communication.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, sorry, we are definitely moving to the next key speaker, Marina Shilina. She represents Russian University of Economics, and she is going to speak about digital brand management of territories in the economy 4.0 and the national strategy, digital economy of the Russian Federation. We have a video recorded specifically for the conference, and we're happy to see it. And the discussion and maybe questions can be asked later in our chat.